question is how do you add a listing in SABOR? So how to add a listing. Guys, if you've run a CMA, you've got an idea of what price you want, you've got all of your paperwork filled out, you've got your exclusive right to sell, you've got your IABS, you've got all of your paperwork filled out, now you're ready to finally put it in there. You've made sure the house is clean, beautiful, that they know that they're about to get some showings. Guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is sign into SABOR. You're going to collect with your MLS because we have to put it in the MLS. Guys, what you want to do when you get in here is we're going to have listings up here at the top. It's super simple. Add a new listing. All of these below are going to have to do with current listings, but this one is add a new listing. And after this, it is super easy to do. So we're going to select a class. Guys, single family, you should remember all this from your class. If you don't, let me know. So we're going to say single family here. A private listing, guys, is if it's only searchable by members of SABOR. You don't want it to go to like realtor.com or anybody in the world can see it. You can do that. I very seldomly do. I've never had anybody ask me to do that. Now, how do you want to enter the listing data? Most of the time, I think every time actually, I've done it from the tax data. They have the square footage, they have the areas that it's at. It's usually the easiest. If you want to clone one from MLS data, you can, but guys, just leave it at tax data for now, okay? We're going to list my house, okay? I live at 406 Ridge Bluff. Probably not smart putting my address out there for everybody. And I can look it up by my name, and I'm in Bexar County, okay? So that's how we're going to start, so let's just see what happens. Nope, didn't find me. Why? Because I know why. Because for some reason everybody abbreviates Bluff. Nope, still didn't work. All right, let's find out what's going on here. There we go. So you just got to figure out till you find it. But it found the CAN number, which is the county number. And so I'm going to say, yep, that's my house. I own it. Let's go. So once you find it there, it's going to populate a lot of the data for you, as you can see. Found the MapsCo grid number. Again, guys, I really don't even know what that is. But now I need to add everything that has a star next to it. But that is the bare minimum. You do not want to shortchange this because people are going to be searching based on the data that you put in here. So don't do any shortchanging. You should, during your listing appointment, have all of this written down because I've got the forms out there for you to take with you to your listing appointments. But since I know my house pretty well, we're going to use this. This house is located right outside Loop 410 in area 600. So you need to pick an area. Can't skip it. Know your map. Next is the list price. I'm going to list this thing for $1 million because I'm fancy. And street number, that's only the number, guys. Street direction. If it's 406 North Ridge Bluff, you put a north in there, okay? Mine doesn't have that. This is the extension of the zip code, county, CAN number. Now, multiple county account numbers. Is this taxed by multiple counties? Every once in a while you run into that. You need to ask your client if they pay 2 tax bills. I don't. I'm in the middle of Bexar County, so that's an easy one for me. Now we save and continue. Most of the time, guys, that's people out in the country, okay? Your address could not be verified by our mapping system. Is it Ridge Bluff? So I'm going to click that one. There we go. I don't know why I didn't find it here. So now we're good to go. On the second page of this thing, guys, we're going to go through this, and you just follow step by step by step. Again, try not to skip anything. My house, it's a single-family detached. It's on legal description. They pulled that from the county. That's why you want that. The common name is, we tend to call this Bluffview. The legal description is there. Instructions or directions. Guys, this is kind of old school, but it's still important. If it's really hard to get to the house, you need to put in verbal directions, especially stuff out in the country that Google Maps can't find. My house is very easy. I usually see Google Maps if it's in town. If it's not, because Google Maps is free, everybody has access to it. Please don't be difficult here. If you want to, you can say head north on 281 from Loop 410, exit Bitters Road, take a left on Bitters. You can type all of that in there. Home faces. Again, there's not a star here, but this is smart to do because some people don't want the evening sun on their door. Some people don't want the morning sun on their door or whatever. My house happens to face north. So the more you put in here, the better it is for you because you're going to have to answer less questions later. Recent rehab. Was this house rehabbed recently? Yes or no? Sometimes investors are looking for houses that haven't been rehabbed. Somebody wants a move-in ready house. If it's recent is subjective, so use your best judgment on that one. Square footage is accurate, and then the square footage source. Where did that come from? Well, this came from the tax roll, guys. So the appraisal district is where this came from. If you have a separate square footage that you need to change because they had the house appraised and the county doesn't know about it and it's actually 2,900 square foot because we added a room on, you need to put that it's 2,900 square foot and where you got that number from. By the way, you are not allowed to walk around with a measuring tape. That's not how this works, guys. You need to either get it from the appraisal, the building plans, the actual appraiser, or from the HUD district. School district is in Northeast. You need to ask your clients where this, what schools are here. You can kind of cut some corners, guys, and you can put in unknown if it's really difficult or if you're in a hurry or something like that, guys. But I really don't like doing that. There's ways to get around this, but as you can see, you need to put something in here. Oh, I think what you do is you actually put call district is what you do. But guys, again, you don't want to call district all the time. That just it's lazy, and we don't have lazy agents. So if you forgot to ask, a lot of times, and I'm pulling this one here, you can go to the school district's website and you can find it. I don't know exactly where it is on here, but boundaries, and there you go. My street name starts with starts with an R, and it'll pull up. Now every website's a little bit different, guys. But, so, my street, so if we go back, let's try RI just to keep it, see if that works. Yeah. So, Ridge Bluff, right here, all street numbers. Elementary, Harmony Hills, Middle, Eisenhower, High School, Churchill. So, guys, don't be lazy. When you get here, click on the little thing. So, it went to Harmony, right? So, I narrow it down. There we go, Harmony Hills Elementary. And it'll populate every one of these. Don't be lazy as you go through these, guys, because some people are very specific about where they want their kids to go to school. So you want to make sure that this goes in here. I know Churchill's got a great reputation as of late. By the time the next year comes out with all this stuff going on, Lord only knows. But you want to put that in there. Don't try and hide things. Construction. Is this a new build or pre-owned? Guys, a new build is subject to a lot of different laws. Unless you are representing a new home builder, you do not click this. 99% of things that you will do, unless you're representing a new home builder, you're going to click pre-owned. The builder name. Guys, my house was built in the 80s. I don't know who built it, being honest. Neighborhood amenities. I do have an HOA, and a lot of times people want to know what's going on in the HOA. Is there a golf house, a clubhouse? You need to ask your client all of these things, because the more things you can put here, the better your listing is going to look. We don't have a fishing pier, bridle path for some of the people that have horses out here. Basically, you have a tennis court. I think we have a basketball court. But you're going to want to put a sports court. There you go. And put as much of the neighborhood amenities, because some people look at that. Accessible adaptive home. Is this a ADA approved house? You need to make sure that you know that, and I don't know them real well. I know like certain things. You have to have 36-inch doors. You have to have ramps on the front and the back. Light switches have to be lowered. There's a lot of things that go into that, and mine is not. So unless you're selling somebody who has an accessible home and they tell you, yes, this was built to spec, your answer is probably no. Miscellaneous. Again, guys, the more information, the better. Is this an estate sale? Does it come with a home service plan? Whatever it might be here, read through these and find out what's going on with your house. Green certification. You need to be very careful about this and make sure you ask. These HERS ratings have to do with your air conditioner, and ask the people if they have any green certifications. San Antonio has very specific builds on this. I know my house is not green at all. So if it does, what green features does it have? Low flow fixtures, whatever it is, guys, you need to ask all of these questions as you're going through here. Energy efficiency. Oh, I'm sorry. SEERS has to do with your air conditioner, not the other one. So is your air conditioner a certain thing? Do I have more than 12 inches of attic insulation? Do I have double pane windows, which I do? Do I have a variable speed HVAC? Yes, I do. Do I have Energy Star appliances? Yes. Radiant barrier. Now, just because I have this stuff does not necessarily mean that I have a green certification. So be careful, guys. They have to be able to show you the form. You do not want to get caught misrepresenting something because you will get in a lot of trouble. So now we're going to go to the next one. So as you can see, we're moving down the left here. The exterior of the home. Guys, it's a one-story house. Flip through each one of these, right? The exterior of my house is brick. It's all 4 sides. Be careful, guys. If it's only 3 sides, that's fine. So I'm putting all 4 sides. If you've gotten, let's say, siding on the back or whatever it is, just make sure you're accurately representing. The roof, I have a composition shingle. Foundation is a slab. You need to ask all these questions. They should be in the form that you take with you to fill out. Any additional parking? Do you have car drive? Oh, I do have a circular drive. That'll work. I do have a pool. Yep. Pool and spa. They ask the same question twice. It's an in-ground pool. Exterior features. I do have covered patios, whatever. Read through them. Lot description. Is it on a corner, cul-de-sac, lakefront? As you can see, I'm not any of these. I know I'm bluff view, but I'm not looking at a bluff. You want to put in as much information. It's a 1/3 of an acre lot, so we can add that. Lot dimensions. If you have that, you can put that in there. If you don't have that, guys, you can go to your local county appraisal district and look it up and add that stuff in there. Wow, it's going to kick it back. I don't know why they hate that the word bluff is in there. Yep. So in Barrett County, this is what they look like. Most CADs actually look the same, but if you go down to the land, I can put the lot dimensions. Okay, it's 1,400 or 14,000 square foot. It's 100 front, 140 deep, right? So you can put that in here if you want to. Okay, lot improvement road surface. Guys, again, don't cut corners. Do everything you possibly can. Next page. Interior, is there 1 living area, 2 living area? Inclusions. Guys, this is the difference between chattel and fixtures. If you remember, chattel is not attached to the house, but fixtures are. So if there are things that are going to be included with the sale of the home, this is a great place to put it. And there's some things that are very typical. Most things on here are actually considered fixtures, but it's a nice thing to put in here that it is included. So yes, I have ceiling fans. They will be included in the sale. I do have 1 chandelier in the dining room, okay? I don't have, whatever. Guys, the more you can put, if you're including the washer and dryer, which most people don't, put it. It makes your listing more attractive. What's the floor made out of? Ceramic tile. I have 1 fireplace. How many do you have? Where is it located? It's actually split between the living and the dining room. It is a gas fireplace. Put as much information as you can. Window coverings. This has to do with if you have blinds, curtains, anything that covers the window. Most of the time, blinds, because they are installed with screws, are going to be considered fixtures. Unless you are pulling those out, you need to say that they remain. The curtains that go over the top, those are typically considered chattel because you just lift the curtain right off. You need to be very clear here saying all remain if you're going to leave them. Most people choose to leave them, by the way, guys, because seriously, God, if you pull your window treatments off, they're going to fit your next house. How many bedrooms? I've got 4 bedrooms. Where is the master bedroom? Does it have a walk-in closet? Guys, fill out as much. And you notice I have to put something here. So it's downstairs. I do have a walk-in closet, but it does have a full bath with walk-in closets, okay? What is the master bedroom closet size? I know it seems silly, but you need to put these in here. It's actually a split master, but you need to have these things measured out. And by the way, guys, there's a great app that's for free that you can use. It's called Room Size, and Room Scan, excuse me, Room Scan. And you can just walk around and put your phone on the wall, and it'll do all the measuring and save it for you. Super helpful. I do that all the time, so when I get here for this demo, I'm going to be making all of this up. So the bathroom, I've got 2 full bathrooms and 1 half bathroom. Put in all the details of the shower. Again, they want to know every measurement you possibly can, guys. Do not cut corners. If you have all this information, put it in here. For the sake of keeping this video as long as possible. If you notice, every time I put in a bedroom, which they're bigger than 10 by 10, but it's asking where is it. If you have a 2-story house, it's going to ask that. Is there a basement? Is it whatever? So again, don't cut corners. I've said it 100 times. I'm going to have to say it again. Air conditioning. I got 1 central. Heating, what is the source? It's central. And I have 1 unit. That's important. What causes the heat, guys? Is it electric? Mine happens to be gas. You need to ask these questions because, as you can see, it is mandatory that you put that in there. Water and sewer, I'm on the city. Okay? Utility supplier, I'm going to leave those blank, but ask the question, put it in there. Am I taxed by multiple counties? Ask that question again. No. Certified tax year, as you can see, this got pulled up by the county records that we did, so that's going to be very, very accurate, which I like. If you did not do this, you need to go look this up. Again, if you go to the CAD, you can see in here the taxing jurisdictions, how much it is with or without exemptions, and you put that information in here. The HOA is mandatory, voluntary, or none. HOAs are a big deal, guys. I have one. It is mandatory. If you notice, this is new. It's recommended that you upload an HOA property profile for each homeowners association. We'll talk about that later. No, it is not multiple. HOA fee, I can't remember. I want to say I pay $600 a year. Is there a transfer fee? So a lot of times whenever you sell or buy a house in an HOA, there is a fee associated with buying the house. Not only do you have to pay $600 a year, but you need to pay $150 in transfer fees. Nowadays, most HOAs have some sort of website. So this is our website one, and you can go to Resort. You can look all this stuff up, guys. You can look it up. Here's the website for the Bluffview, and it will be in here. The board meetings, anything that's coming up here, you'll find it somewhere on their website, guys, or just ask the homeowner. They typically know. It's a $100 transfer fee or whatever. HOA website, again, very helpful because some people will like, I will not buy a house unless I can paint it purple and I want to read the covenant. So great. HOA contact phone number, guys, it's in here somewhere. I'm sure they may not have a phone number, but here we go, right here, 800-357, whatever. So put in the phone number. Next one, office and sales. So the contract. Do you have exclusive agency or exclusive right to sell? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to have an exclusive right to sell. Do everything in your power to have an exclusive right to sell. It's not within the scope of this video for me to explain the difference, but this is the good one, and you need to have that paper filled out. When are you listing it? If it's a future date, great. If it's today, whatever. When does it expire? You have a contract. You have an agency contract with the owners, and you have to put in there when it expires. And let's say I have till the end of the year to sell this house. Proposed terms. This is how it will be financed. If you were saying it's good for conventional, FHA, VA, first seller carry and second seller carry has to do with whether or not they will own or finance the house. You need to ask your sellers that. Lease options, buy downs, WRAP, Texas Vet. Again, it's not within the scope of this to go through all of this, but the more financing options you have, the better. Possession. When somebody buys this house, when can they move in? Can they move in before closing? I'm already out of here. Sell it. I don't care if they want to do a lease for it. It's kind of a dangerous proposition, but again, we'll get to that later. Most of the time, it's with closing and funding. Once we've signed all the documents and once all the money is transferred hands, then you can move in. Tenants will vacate. It's all negotiable, guys. Again, it's not within the scope to do this. Phone number to show. You're going to want to, when you're done with this, you're going to want to set up showing services. The one right now in SABOR is showing time, and that's the phone number to show. The showing contact is showing time. Maybe if a lot of times with like really fancy houses, they're like, no, you need to show it. Fine. I put my phone number and I say, hey, look, the agent's the only one who's going to show it. Or you need to contact White Line's office. Guys, we do not offer a showing service, so you need to handle it. Or the owner wants to show it. Usually I don't recommend that because you don't want them talking to the buyers because they're not trained to do it. They might let a lot of things slip. But for this example, I'm going to put it in showing time so they can do it without me. Lockbox type. Do you have a Supra from SABOR? Do you have a Four Rivers Supra? Combination lockbox, the ones that you buy from Home Depot, whatever it is, we'll pretend it's a combination. Occupancy. Is the house occupied right now? Is somebody living in the house? Vacant? Is there a tenant? Is there a renter in there? Is it the owner or a home tender? Maybe they're gone. They just have somebody watching after the house. So I live here, so we'll put that. Is it currently being leased? No, I live here. Who's the owner? Sub-agent commission. Guys, I don't want to get into the whole agent, sub-agent, all that kind of stuff. Typically I put 0, but go back to your workbooks and make sure you understand what's going on there. And buyer's agent commission. The buyer's agent, if you remember, as the selling agent, you're going to negotiate typically 6% to sell the house. You're going to keep 3% and you're going to offer 3% to the other person. If that is different, you need to notate it here because this is legally binding. If you are only offering 2%, you need to make sure it's in here. That's why it is so important. If it's a rental property, maybe you're only offering $250. Whatever you put in here is legally binding, and guys, do not pay close attention to what you put in here because if you screw up and put 33%, then guess what, guys? You're going to lose a lot of money. If it's a variable rate, you can put that in here as well, but typically that's not the case. Again, these are very specialized circumstances, but we're going to say 3% because that's typical. Bonus. Man, I'm going to give the agent $2,000 of my own money if they can sell this one, right? Is the owner a licensed real estate agent or a licensed real estate broker? I'm the owner of this house, so yes. Typically, the answer is no. Okay? Most of the time, you're not selling a real house for a real estate agent. They're going to sell their own house. But if I'm selling mine, then the answer would be yes. Typically, the answer is no. Your preferred title company. Guys, if you've worked with title companies and escrow officers, you've got somebody you like, put it in here, whatever you want to do. A potential short sale, meaning am I going to sell this house for less than I owe on the mortgage? If you are doing a short sale, you will know it. Most of the time you're not. So this is not a potential short sale. You cannot decide this, guys. It is not within your scope or the seller's scope to say whether or not this is a short sale. You need to speak to the bank. As the agent, you need to have documentation from the bank saying, yes, we will consider a short sale. Typically, that only happens if they're behind on their mortgage or they're having some other mortgage problems. Okay, next, remarks. This is where the art comes into being a real estate agent. The public remarks are what's going to show up on Realtor.com. This is a beautiful home with an amazing view, and there's fairies that fly around and put glitter out for everybody, and whatever you want to put. This is where you're going to want to romanticize your property. Now remember, you cannot put anything that is not factual. You cannot say that there's fairies floating around putting glitter on everything if there's no fairies. You've got to be factual. Now it can be you can point out certain features, like, we have a beautiful backyard pool. Beautiful is kind of subjective, but you don't want to say that I have an Olympic-sized pool because I don't. You got to make sure that you use a lot of factual but artistically kind of sounding words. But be careful because that can get you in trouble. Don't put anything that's false. Agent confidential remarks. This is what shows up only in the MLS for the other agents. Buyer really wants an FHA loan. Buyer will not accept an offer without a pre-approval letter. Whatever is very specific that the other agent needs to know that you don't need the public to know. That's the difference between these two media. Okay, do you want to display this on the internet? You need to ask your client, yes or no. If they don't want it in Realtor.com, so SABOR, the MLS here automatically goes to Realtor.com and Zillow and blah, 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 blah. So that's why they're asking you here. Do you want it on there or not? If they really don't want their house on there, fine. You need to ask them that. And this is part of your exclusive right to sell as well. It's going to ask you that question. Do you want to display their address on the internet? Yes or no? Some people are weird and they don't want their address on there. That's fine. It'll show the pictures. It'll show the area. Like it'll say it's an area 600. I don't know if you remember that. But it will not give the physical address. They're going to have to contact a realtor before they find the virtual address. Virtual tour. Do you have a virtual tour set up for your property? Most of the time, it's a video that you get from somewhere. So, for example, I've been using a lot of Matterport lately, and you can actually see, no, so that one's old, so it's been expired. But you can see, guys, some people use YouTubes for this. If you have, let's see if that one will pull up. So Listing Booster, which I've got a great video about Listing Booster coming up. So this shows the house through a virtual tour. It will add that website link. So you can see a virtual tour is going to kind of walk them through photos. There's all kinds of different virtual tours. But you want to put the link for your virtual tour there. And are any of the properties virtually staged? Meaning, did you add furniture or a bowl of fruit or anything with Photoshop? If you added something into the photo that is not there, you need to say that it is yes. I don't care if it's a lemon on the counter, because again, this is going to let people know that you have modified those pictures, and that's very important. Manage photos. Next, guys, you're going to select your images and upload images to this. When you select images, you're going to click on it. You're going to find desktop, and let me see if I can find some sort of picture somewhere. Let's just pretend it's this one. So this is an exterior of a house that I listed a while back. It's going to upload. Is it virtually staged? Yes or no, this picture. Edit the title. This is going to be the exterior front. You're going to have up to 25 photos in SABOR, but you have to do at least 4. So you're going to have the photos. I'm just going to skip this for now because I don't have it. Documents right here. This is huge, guys, because it will save you a lot of headache down the road. You should already have the seller's disclosures from your sellers. Put that in here. If you have any particular HOA forms, put that in here. They said that you should fill out the HOA documentation before you list it. Do that and upload it here. Guys, you just add documents. If you have a survey, put it up. If you have a T47, add it here. Guys, because if you add all of this here, you're not going to have to search it down and email it to 15 different agents. They already have it. If you have an appraisal, put it up here. Guys, anything pertaining to this house that you think is useful that you don't want to have to email out 15 times, put it up here. Because what's going to happen is you'll say, hey, can I see the seller's disclosure? And you're going to email it. Or you say it's in the documents. So you just choose your file. Same thing, guys. Whatever you want to do, add the file up. You're going to say, is it a public document? What is it? An engineer's report, a home warranty that's already there, operating statements if it's a profitable property, if it's an income-bearing property, zoning reports, whatever, guys. Please put as many documents as you have, because trust me, it'll save you time. Put let's say it's seller's disclosures, which you should have there. By the way, the ones you should, if it's an older house, you don't know the rules, lead bank pays, put that in there. If there was any kind of thing with mold, put it all in here, and it automatically populates where you should put it. And we'll say add, but I'm not adding anything. And that's it, you're done. So when you're done, you're going to hit save and continue. Now, I left some things blank. So watch what happens when I do this. It's going to get mad at me. Errors. You must enter the size of at least 1 living room. So errors you need to fix before you can post it. Warnings are things that you probably need to do. So I indicated that I'm a member of a homeowner, but I didn't upload any profile documents. You don't have to fix it, but you probably should. And it won't let you click submit and get a listing number until you've done everything in the red boxes. So guys, that's it. Again, one last time, my advice is to make it as encompassing as you possibly can. It takes a while to do this, to do it right. It's probably going to take me, if this was actually my house, it's probably going to take me the better part of an hour. And it's going to take me longer than that because on the photos, guys, I'm going to want to get professional photos done. I'm going to want to have an amazing video put together. I'm going to want all of this stuff. So it might take you a week or two to get all of the stuff you need and in there. So take your time, do it right, and list as many houses as you can.